I made it. I'm at one of the most important stops of the Jeep Across America tour. I am at Billy the Kid's grave. I cannot tell you how much this guy has influenced my life. The stories, the movies, the legend. I've read so much about him. I've watched countless documentaries, and one of the things that I say to people all the time, as you can see, it says keep chasing your heroes. And the reason why is that people become sort of like their heroes. Whoever their heroes are, they model themselves after them. It could be how they speak, it could be what they do for a living, it could be the courage they have inside, it could be the direction they take in life, it could be the type of women that they date or type of men that they date. Because who your heroes are, sort of like a guideline of how to live. If you have shitty heroes, chances are you're going to be a shitty person. And I looked up to him because of the rebel inside of him, the going against the grain, the ability to stand up for himself. It doesn't matter about life and death. If you follow his story, one of the things that it's very prevalent is that he could have escaped New Mexico and lived in Mexico by himself and did his thing. But the man didn't back away. He didn't back down from a fight or give up. He stayed in New Mexico, escaping and fighting his whole, I guess you could say, adult life, from like 15 or 16 on. And then whenever his mentor, his coach, basically like his dad, which his name is John Tunstall, died, was killed, he went on this rampage and just got tons of revenge. And I do believe there's a time and a place for revenge. I do believe in it. Because when someone goes out of your way to hurt you or people around you, there's only so much time that can go by for them to do it again. And that's when you have to fight back. But I love his story. If you also look into it, he became the icon, the hero, because newspaper people needed a hero to write about. They needed someone to have a story in the newspaper. So it was like a book. Rather than have boring facts and figures and whatnot, they found out the power of story. Because of the Civil War and everything at that time, they needed something to write about to get people entertained. And that's what he did. He entertained the readers. People in different states cared about him so much because they read about him and just became legend. Stuff that he didn't even do, he was getting blamed for. Because the newspapers needed a hero. And over time, it went from being a villain to an actual hero because of the landowners and everything. There was people who were really wealthy trying to get rid of him. He was standing up to them. And so they would pay the newspapers, and they vilified him. And after he escaped from prison, I believe it was in 1880 or 1879, that's whenever 1880 is when it happened. Almost 1881, because he died in July of 1881. That's when he escaped from prison. And all of a sudden, it just exploded in the newspapers. Sales went up in newspapers, and he was the reason for it. He became the hero. He became a legend. And that's the power of story. They knew it back then. It still happens to this day. This means a lot. I'd always watch the Young Guns 1 and 2 with my dad, and still do all the time when it's on. And, you know, all those quotable movies really, really did shape me. So this means a lot to be here. If you look around, there's nobody else here. You wouldn't believe how the locals look upon him, and then they look upon like Sheriff Brady and the people he was against. Pretty fascinating. So people still live it every day. This is how they make a living. And this really should be a lot bigger because he means a lot to a lot of people. I'd love to hear some of your heroes. This is going to be on YouTube, probably Instagram, Facebook also. Comment down below some of your heroes growing up. And did you become like them in any shape or form? Learn the whole story also. Because if you can learn the whole story of why people did things, how they became successful, famous, or how they became legend, it's There's something in there you can learn. On my way to Lincoln tomorrow before I go to Austin, Texas to see some of the battles and wherever a lot of crazy stuff happened. So here I am, Billy the Kid's grave. Dream come true, bucket list item completed. Jeep Across America tour. Last stop until Texas, last stop in Lincoln, then Texas, which is the bachelor party, and then maybe, hopefully, Oklahoma, and then back to Pittsburgh. All right, keep chasing your heroes, guys.